Kerr9000's Game Room.
Hi, it's Kerr9000 and welcome back to my channel and one of my Games Room videos. Now, the thing is, with the Switch being sort of towards the end of its life, most people believe, and the Switch 2 sort of incoming, people are starting to say 2024 April. It raises a question of how long will consoles exist that actually have insertable physical media, be it discs, cartridges, whatever. And it's a hard one to come up with because, you know, some companies have sort of wanted to drift away from that already, and digital sales are ever on the increase. Now, I'm a big fan of physical media most of the time. There's just something more satisfying about getting a game in a box with a manual. If, you know, they're a little bit rare nowadays, really, but you know what I mean. Having a physical item that you can place on your shelf is something that I like. I will buy digital games. In fact, I can be lazy sometimes, and if a digital game is really cheap and I own it physical, and say it's £2 on the Xbox store, I can buy it to think, well, I don't have to look for the disc anymore. The disc can stay in a cupboard and I can play it. The other thing, though, is with retro stuff. You know, you can now get your EverDrive, SuperCard type devices where basically you plant almost every game for a machine on an SD card, put it in a cartridge, put it in the system, bingo, bango, bongo, you play whatever you want. I think something important to remember is that even physical media will not last forever. Machines will break down, and, you know, pads will give in, discs will rot. So either way, you are not necessarily buying something which is eternal, but then neither is life. I've shown this before, but it's the Retro Bit Super Retro Trio Plus console, and basically it plays SNES and Genesis games, or Mega Drive games as they are where I'm from. And I think if you want to play something under the telly, this could well be something you have to deal with in the future, because SNES and Mega Drives will run out, and either you're going to have to emulate on a PC one day, or you're going to have to use something like this. People will say they're inferior to the original machine, and in some ways they are. In some ways they've got benefits, but you know, as long as things like this are made, fresh pads are made. These things not only work on that machine, they actually bona fidely work on a real SNES. And, you know, as pads break, you could be stuck with them. That's why I believe heavily in, like, joypad maintenance and stuff. It's not only the machines, though. This is a Joe and Mac cart that came with the machine. I've never undone it, but basically this is Joe and Mac 1 to 3 in one set. Here we go, I'll get it out of the light. So, you know, you might end up with reproductions like this being a necessity as things wear away and die. The main thing is, I believe in trying to hold these games for future generations. I don't believe in letting pieces of media just drift away. Now, some people think the answer to that is to buy everything physical. And yeah, to some degree that might help. But these things need dumping as well. You need to get your carts and your discs and put them on newer, more future-savvy mediums. Hard drives, things like that. And you need multiple copies. Things need to have ways to exist which goes beyond the physical of plastic, and that's where, like, cloud storage and that can actually be an interesting and useful thing. Digital copies can outlast real copies. Now, I'm not talking about the digital copies on the PlayStation Store or the Nintendo Store or Microsoft Store, because they are subject to being taken down whenever a company is on a whim. But for a want of a better term, pirate copies preserved by an uninterested party who is not looking in making a profit off them, that is just looking on holding on to them for the historical value. That is an important part of the puzzle to me. So both physical and digital have their place. As far as just gaming and playing goes, what you want to play is whatever works for you. If having all digital on your machine is what makes you play games, is what allows you to afford the games you want, to not have to, if you haven't got much space and you want, that works for you. That is the way to go for you. And that is all that matters. All that matters is what works for you. If seeing all the spines of different games on a shelf, if that makes you happy, go physical. That's what's for you. There is no right or true path. Whether you're a player, a collector, a bit of both, pick whatever works and whatever makes you happy. But in the long run, as preservation goes, I think physical and digital have to somehow come together, and copying, redistributing is all part of it. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the matter. So this is me, Kerr9000, signing off, saying take care of yourself and each other. Latest, taters.
A Scruffy Bear production.
Hi, it's Kerr9000, the Chrome-Faced Man. I'd just like to say thank you for making it to the end of my video. I've got lots of stuff on my channel. My Horror House doing horror reviews, Games Room doing games, Sci-Fi Station. It's absolutely chock-a-block full. I can also be found on the Retro Gamer U forum, which is full of great people, great laugh. At the end of this video there's going to be some little icons to tick if you want to subscribe, a link to one video, a link to a playlist. I'd also like to recommend the wonderful, talented Just Jessica, who does cosy games like Dreamlight Valley and is my supportive partner. Thank you ever so much once again for watching my video, and particularly if you follow me, thank you for all your support, and have a great rest of your day.